Welcome to Tameras Travels. Today's going to be an awesome episode, you guys, because I'm going to be taking this really cool ferry from Italy over to Greece. Now, if you know me, I'm not really going on like a one-week vacation, so I'm not looking for luxury or to get a lot of rest. In fact, I travel more for the adventure, and this was like one of the biggest adventures I've ever had, and I would not have given it up for the world. Like, it was better than the destination, and that's what travel's really about. It's about the journey, it's about exploration, it's about being surprised, and I was shocked, you guys. My mind is blown, y'all. Like, I'm just shocked of what it was actually like taking a ferry from Italy over to Greece. It was nothing like what I expected. So I just want to share my experience with you guys, and also just to let you be aware, don't fly or take a bus or drive around. It is way cooler to take a ferry, and here's why. Alright, number one. You guys, this was hilarious. So unfortunately, the sound was really bad in the videos that I took. It was just you couldn't hear anything because of all the wind. It was just really bad. So I just took all the sound out. So I'm going to be telling you about what I did and then just talking about it because I didn't really film that much because I was having a lot of fun. So in my mind, there were two types of tickets you could buy, and it was an all-night ferry. And I left Bari, Italy, and I went to this place in Greece, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce because I'm going to butcher it and just sound like, you know, a rude person. So I'll just spell it out for y'all. But I took this ferry, and there's two types of tickets. One was just like a deck ticket, or a cheap ticket essentially, and the other type was for a cabin. And I was like, okay, cabin makes sense. It's probably like a cruise ship, you know, you buy a cabin, you get a bed, yay. What is this open deck thing for a chair? And I was like, oh, chair, that's cool. Maybe I'll just try and sleep in a chair. I probably won't get much sleep, but I'm young, so who really cares? And it's like a tenth the price. So I was like, yes, please. I'm going to give this a go and give it a try. So let me tell you, when I got there, it was not what I expected at all. There were a few chairs indoors, you know, the really uncomfortable plastic ones. Yeah, no, I would have gotten zero sleep. Luckily though, I met these guys.
Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
They're a group of Italian students. They were going over to Greece to go camping for 2 weeks or something. And the one guy was really awesome, and he felt bad for me, I guess, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't even have a blanket with me. I just had a few warm clothes, but mostly not because it was really hot. Obviously, it does get cold when you're on a boat and there's a lot of breeze. And so they're like, you know what? If you want, we have our camping gear, so we're just gonna camp out. I'm like, you can do that on a boat? Okay. And they're like, yeah, it's what everybody does. It's cool. And he's like, I have a hammock, so if you want to borrow my sleeping bag for the night, you totally can. And I was like, oh, godsend, thank you so much. So I didn't think I'd ever say this in my entire life, but I can say that I've definitely slept in a doorway, and this is where I slept for the night.
Literally where I slept last night.
Which is actually pretty comfortable because I thought it was the coolest thing ever to be able to sleep outdoors on a boat, but then also have a little bit, it was nice, it was almost like a cubby hole, so the wind wasn't directly on me. I wish I'd filmed more of it for you guys. I'm so sorry that I didn't, but you're just gonna have to go and experience it for yourself. Because people literally just had tents, these guys that I met, they just took their tents out, and they weren't the only ones. There were a bunch of people. Anywhere you see sleeping bags and just tents, and they just tied them down. I'm like, aren't you afraid that thing's gonna fly away because of the really strong wind? Some people just slept indoors. It's just kind of like a free-for-all. And one of the coolest things, for me at least for experience about it, was how freeing it felt, where this could never happen in America. Not in 100 years. Basically, it broke every safety law in existence. In America, the fire marshal would have been like, you're blocking. He literally has his hammock over the emergency exit. I was sleeping in the doorway, and on the other side was the restaurant, and I was literally blocking the emergency exit for the restaurant. So if, God forbid, this ship was going down, there's people blocking every emergency exit. So really, it's almost safer to sleep outside than it would be to pay for a cabin, just saying. Then again, they're like, yeah, we haven't had one sunk in over 200 years, so you're pretty much safe. But just saying, it just would not have been legal in America, like, at all. So it kind of gave it like a really sense of thrilling, adventure, but still safe. You know, everyone's really nice there. It was really safe just to be able to sleep out. No one's going to mess with you. You also can keep any luggage or any valuables in a locker below, so people can't just like steal stuff from you, which is really nice. And you just have like 20 bucks on you in case you want to go buy something, you know, like some hot chocolate or whatever. You guys, this was awesome. I highly recommend it, and I literally, like, it was one of my favorite things. I don't know which country I'm calling this because it was literally between Italy and Greece, so it wasn't either. But if you're backpacking across Europe and you have the opportunity to take a ferry, do it. Especially if you like adventure and you like maybe not getting a lot of sleep. And if you're a little bit more like, I want a nice place to sleep and I'm too old for sleeping out camping, then I highly recommend paying for a cabin, and then you still get to see all the craziness and how awesome it is. So I just highly recommend it. Honestly, one of the best parts of my Europe trip, which is saying a lot because I've been to like over 20 countries, and this is one of the most memorable experiences, and one of the experiences that if I could do it again, I totally would, and I wouldn't have given it up for the world. So that's my advice. They go a couple times a day. You can book in advance, or I just went up and just like bought one for the next day. So during the high season, you do have to book in advance, but usually you can book one in a couple of days. So if you just plan like a little bit ahead of time, you'll be good. Sometimes if you pay a little bit more, you can book it that day. When I was looking into it, it's actually pretty cheap. I think I spent like, I want to say $40 or $60 on the ticket one way. Because then from there I actually flew out to go to Thailand, which is going to be awesome. Thailand was amazing, by the way. So it was pretty inexpensive. It might have been slightly cheaper to take a plane, but because it was last minute, I think the ferry was cheaper, and then I didn't have to deal with going through TSA or checking things out and trying to cram things in a, you know, suitcase or whatever. It was just, you know, you can just take whatever you want on there, basically. So what else? It is nice because there are plenty of bathrooms, obviously. There is a full-on restaurant. And the food wasn't too expensive. It was fine. You can also bring your own food if you're trying to be really cheap, budget-friendly. That's what travel's about, y'all. It's like, it's about the adventure. It's about the craziness. It's about doing something, at least as an American traveler, you can't do this in America. Like, this does not exist. It would be so illegal here. But it was like a lot of fun, especially if you're young. Otherwise, book a cabin or take another way around. But it was a beautiful, scenic ride, so I felt like it was better than driving in a car or a bus or taking a plane, because it was, I like boat rides personally. I love being on boats, so I just thought it was really cool to be able to pay. It was a means of transportation, but it also a really cool boat ride. So kind of get like 2 for 1. It was almost like an attraction in and of itself. In fact, I think it was like one of the best attractions. I didn't see too much sea life or anything. So that's it for this episode. Again, I will link some of the ferries below so you guys can check them out. Again, highly recommend if you get the opportunity. If you're traveling around Europe, awesome. You can also take these between different countries. Like, it doesn't have to be between Italy and Greece. I think that you can also take them to, like, I don't know, from like Spain to Morocco. I didn't do that, so I can't say for sure, but there's other ferries that go different places in the area. I think you can also take them for France, but I'll just link the one below that I used, and they're really awesome. And that's it for this episode. Next episode, I will see you in Athens, Greece, because I didn't really film once I landed. It was a pretty small town, and then I just took a bus directly to Athens, Greece, and then from Athens, I actually went to one of the really cool islands. So, didn't really have a lot of time to do a lot of island hopping, because I was only in Greece for, I want to say, 7 days. But it was epic. I would love to go back to Greece. It was just beautiful and relaxing, and everything a vacation should be. Alright guys, don't forget to tag a friend in it if you want to take a ferry from Italy to Greece, and give this video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. Alright, see you next time. Ciao!